Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Jesus is my doctor and he writes out all of my prescriptions and he gives me all of my medicine in my room. Come on, you guys. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Hi, y'all. This is So Blessed. Welcome to the Blessed Place. How y'all doing? As for me, I am doing well. I'm doing wonderful. I'm feeling rested. Well, somewhat. I had a busy weekend, but I just feel high in the Lord and in life, and I'm just grateful to be here. Come on in the room. I wish this would tell me like who was coming in the room, because I don't know. But anyways, so come on in the room, you guys. Welcome to the Blessed Place. Welcome to my Monday Night Musings, where we talk about all things love, marriage, relationship, dating, confidence, self-esteem, and all of that good stuff. So tonight, what we're going to talk about, again, relationships, because that's my favorite what? Subject. So we're going to talk about relationship and two of the biggest relationship killers. Now we know that there's a plethora of things that kill relationships. However, I feel that all of those things that kill relationships are under the umbrella of these two things that we're going to talk about. And one of the things is something that males or men do, and the other thing is something that women do, and that are relationship killers. So I'm just going to give y'all a few more minutes to come on in the room as y'all look behind me and can admire my old school. Uh, Hi, Aaron. My old school. I think. Oh, is it Dusty? No. Oh, is that Dust now? My old school Miss Pac-Man and Galaga. So this is my office and my old school game. So while you all are coming on in the room, I'm just going to reiterate that tonight we're talking about two relationship killers. And these, like I said, there are many relationship killers. We know that infidelity, cheating, relationship killer. We know that, growing apart, being disinterested in each other, just being so different from each other, financial woes, um, workaholic, substance abuse, abuse, neglect, all those different things we know are relationship killers. But I believe that the most of those relationship killers fall under these two things that I'm going to talk about. So I'm just going to get right to it because y'all ain't going to have me here an hour and a half like y'all did last time. Like y'all the one running your mouth talking, huh? uh, so first of all, before we get into this, how's everybody doing? How you doing, Aaron? And anybody else that's just give me a wave so I can see who's in here. Cause I don't know if YouTube tells you, but I ain't figured out how to find out who's in the room. Um, I'm just looking, trying to see like is there something that tell me? I don't know. But give me a wave, thumbs up, heart, give me something. Doing well, just cooling. Thank you for being here. Hey, Shalette. Hello. Who else? Who else is in the room? Hi, Krista. Hello. I laugh every time I see that first lady. Okay. All right. Well, what the word say? Where two or three are gathered? Well, it's more than two or three. So we're going to get started. Everybody else can watch the replay or come on in the room and catch up. Like my daddy said, my dad was a pastor. He said, we not going to punish the ones on time for the ones who late. Hello, somebody. All right, you guys. So we're talking about two of the biggest relationship killers. Again, like I said, there's a whole lot of things that kill relationships. And maybe in this live, you all can share with us, all those who want to share, what were some of the things that killed, your relationships in the past. But I'm going to just read this to you and then we'll talk about it. For women, for a woman, one of the biggest relationship killers is our insecurity, which causes fear. Again, for women, one of the biggest relationship killer is our insecurity, which causes fear. And when I say our insecurity, it doesn't always, I don't always mean like you don't have any self confidence or things like that. And I'll explain a little further. But I don't mean lack of self confidence. I just mean overall our insecurity about things that have happened in our past relationships, in our formative, development in our formative years that cause insecurities. Uh, his mom was in the business. His mom. What does that mean, Krista? And then, okay, the second thing is with men, inadequacy causes shame. So and I believe that you could sum it up in those two things. With women, we have insecurities, which causes fear. And with men, sometimes they have inadequacies that cause shame. So I just want to talk about these things and talking about building our confidence in our business. You wanted to run that. Okay. Okay. So we'll talk about women first. We'll talk about women first. So with women, our insecurities are sometimes the foundation of all other things that occur in our relationship to kill our relationship. Sometimes it's Aaron said, talk about the women first. Yes, I want to talk about what I know best, and that's the women. But I'm going to talk about y'all men too, Aaron. But with women, yes, I would say that the basis of almost any kind of way that we kill our relationship is based on insecurities that causes fear and sometimes lack of confidence. But it don't even have to be a lack of confidence because, like, say, I'll give you an example. Like, I'm a very confident woman, but there are times that I've had insecurities about certain things that have caused fear to rise up in me. Hi, AJ. And those things could have affected my relationship in one way or another. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Like, I can remember, I would say almost any argument or disagreements that my husband and I had, most of the time it's steeped in me feeling my fear, my fear rising up about something. I can give you several examples, but say one example would be, I remember my husband was sick, and this was years ago, and he's fairly, very, very healthy, man, and he got sick one time, and he had to go to the hospital, and he stayed in the hospital about 4 or 5 days, and they tested him for some everything and couldn't figure out what it was, but oh, thank you, Krista. She said, let's not forget the thumbs up. Thank you. I appreciate that. But so my husband, gotten sick and he was in the hospital. He got out of the hospital. And when he got home, I found myself being very mean towards him. Well, I say mean verbally. I was snappy. I was real snappy. I was sarcastic. I was just like real edgy. And I'm, taking care of him and trying to nurse him back to health. And I can tell in his demeanor that he was hurt. Why is she talking to me like this? Why? And then I think one time he asked me, he's like, what's wrong? You don't want to take care of me, or why are you, treating me like this? Or he said something like that. And I was like, treating you like what? I'm not treating you any kind of way. I'm taking care of you. Right? But I remember leaving the house. I had to go to work or something, and I was thinking of the why. Why, Deidre? Why are you acting like this? Deidre, why are you being sarcastic? Why are you being, a little mean? Why are you? And it came down to sometimes you got to go deep and you got to ask the why. There's this thing called five whys. You get to the five whys and you go deep. Why? But no, go deeper. No, go deeper. And when I went deeper, and I mean, I really had to go deep because at first I was surface. I was like, I'm, I'm not being mean. I'm taking good care of him. Then I was like, nope, you're being a little mean, a little edgy. Check your feelings. Then I was like, well, he's guys are just so needy. I'm like, he, God forbid a man get sick. I'm like, I done had a baby. I done had two partial hysterectomy, full hysterectomy. I done had this. Oh, God forbid they get sick. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but that's him calling. But anyways, now y'all know he noticed my live time. He done forgot. But anyways, so um, yes, men are big babies. Hold on though. I'm sorry, y'all. Right in the middle of live, cause he ain't gonna stop calling me. Please leave your message. Okay, got his voicemail. Anyways, so I went deep. Deidre, why? And it came down to fear. I was in fear that I was going to lose my husband. I was in fear of what was wrong. We do love y'all big babies. We do. But it came down to fear. I was fearful about what was going on, and I was fearful about what if I lose him, what if I lose my friend, what if I lose my partner, what if I lose my covering, what if I lose my provider. So it came down to fear. And then there are other times, that I can name you other, situations where we might have been having like money problems, and I will be real. I would just, be real, like I say, meanish, sarcastic, um, uh, just mouthy, and he, just kind of like, what's going on with you? And then I start questioning myself, what is going on with me? He's so good to me. He's so kind to me. He's so generous. What is going on with you? And then when I, like I say, I get down to the why, and it's because of fear. Fear of finances or lack of finances, fear of losing, finances, maybe even a little anger, like towards him, like, we need more money. And so sometimes those feelings run deep like that, and it stems from, for a woman, it stems from insecurity, and that insecurity and that fear, our fear can be relationship killers. We can kill our relationship because we're dealing with our own fears and our own insecurities. And I know, oh gosh, I'm sorry, I forget the name. Uh, I'm sorry. If you're in here on live, please tell me your name. But ask me, a few people asked me to talk about confidence, and just talking about confidence in relationship. And we have to have that confidence in our relationship and our confidence in our partner, especially when our partner has proven to be somebody that we can rely on. That you have a good relationship. You have to check your fear. You have to check your insecurities, because you can kill relationships with those insecurities. Accusing your partner of doing things that they're not doing, because it's not because they're doing something. It's because the insecurities that we have, and perhaps even the baggage that we brought from other relationships, and or perhaps there could have been an incident or something that happened in your relationship, and maybe you've forgiven each other, either one partner or the other partner messed up, or they both, and you've forgiven each other, and now you've moved on. I remember one of my blessed ones reached out to me and said, hey, my I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna read that, Aaron, in a second. But one of my blessed ones reached out to me and said, "Hey, my husband I found some messages and some porn and some messages from another woman and all of that. And we talked about it, we cried, we prayed, and I want to forgive him, but I don't know how. I'm still, I don't feel like I've forgiven. And I'm still, feel like I'm stuck, in the middle where I say I've forgiven, I say we moved on, but I really haven't. And, we know that that happens. We know that happens that, you've forgiven, but your heart is still broken. Your heart is still, um, on the mend. And so that takes time. And your partner has to be patient, when that happens. But you also have to, when you have truly forgiven, you can't hold on to those past fears and insecurities. Because that can kill your relationship. If you're going to move past whatever that incident was, or that mistake was, or that problem was, you kill your relationship when you continue to hold on to those fears and insecurities. Hold on, but I want to read let's see what Aaron said. It says, yes, baggage. My ex-wife hates her dad. Whenever I did something that reminded her of her dad, life like saving money, hell broke loose. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And it's amazing how we take those insecurities or those fears from our childhood or our previous relationships, and we bring those into our relationship, and we kill our relationship. I killed the relationship from a fear of being hurt. Felt like it was too good to be true, and hurt was coming. So killing it early, if avoid killing it early to avoid it. We live and we learn, though. Yes, exactly, exactly, Lady NJ. And it happens. It happens. And like you say, you live and you learn, and that's what I'm all about in here. Is let's learn, change, and grow. And I say let us, because I'm continuing to learn, change, and grow. As I keep telling you all every live, hey, my anniversary, 17-year anniversary, is coming up at the end of April, and I'm still learning, changing, and growing. So even as I bring you all things, a lot of the time is stuff that I have experienced, and if I have not personally experienced, believe you me, like I say, as first lady, as like Krista likes to call me, as a former first lady, and just as a friend in general, and way before I ever became a first lady, I always, talk to ladies, or ladies felt comfortable coming to me. And I, my YouTube community, I've got so many inboxes and messages from 2015, 14, 17, just over the years of women talking to me and confiding in me. So I know what I'm talking about when I say that we kill a relationship, or a potential relationship. Sometimes we kill a potential relationship before we even get it. But once we even get in a relationship, we can kill it because of our fears. And like you said, Lady NJ, we live and we learn. Aaron says we'll stay waiting on your book, D. You know what? Aaron, you gonna be right there on the forward when I do that book. I'm like, shout out to Aaron who pushed me into this book. Aaron, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Yes, I will be following you and your sisters for years. I love you and enjoy you all. Oh, Krista, thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I just love y'all. Y'all are just awesome. But yeah, so our fears, ladies, our insecurities and our fears. And what we do is, I know many of you who've been here with me have heard me say this term, your slip is showing. And I know you already know, but back in the day we used to wear slips. We don't wear all them slips and undergarments now because we want people to see everything we got these days. But you used to wear a slip underneath your clothes so people couldn't see through your clothes, and that slip was always hanging from under your dress. I can just remember growing up, that slip was always hanging. And thank you, Krista. That slip was always hanging, and somebody was always saying, usually it was some older person, baby, your slip showing. Baby, your slip's showing. And you try to adjust the slip. You adjust it so it won't show. Or if it's a half slip, you adjust that slip so it won't be showing. You still wear yours, Ebony? Now I will say I do on one slip, but I can't say I've worn a slip in years. But I try to make sure my dress is not see through. But yeah, but sometimes your slip is showing, meaning your insecurities are showing, your fears are showing, and you're killing a relationship when those insecurities and fears are showing. And how does that show? Because when I'm learning, I'm listening, I'm learning something. I like somebody. Don't just tell me that my insecurities and fears are showing. How are they showing? And so he said, gotta leave imagination to those. Yes, exactly. Don't show it all. Don't give it all away. I was about to say something, but that's a whole nother video. But I was about to say, a lot of times we think all of this stuff is so alluring to show a man everything. And sure enough, you show it, they gonna look. You show Aaron everything, he gonna look at it. You show Tommy everything, they gonna look. But what do they think about you in their mind? I guarantee you, they ain't thinking of you as wifey. When you showing any and everybody your everything, they ain't thinking of you as wifey. Now they might bed you, but they ain't thinking of you as wifey. But women don't get that. They show everything. But anyways, whole nother subject. But yeah, but our insecurities and our fears, and the way they show and the way they manifest themselves. It's so many different ways to even name, but just to give you, some examples of how our insecurity and fears how they show is when when we are constantly needing reassurance from men, from people. I would just say people in general. We constantly need reassurance. This is kind of like off topic, but just to give you an idea. So I was at work, and I'm an L1 operator, police dispatcher, and there was this girl, and we were trying to decide whether or not she could cut the mustard, so to speak. Can she had gone through training, and can she work on her own? And we were kind of iffy about her. So I said, okay, I'll listen in, and I'll make an informed decision whether we're going to retain her or fire her. And so I listened. And she knew what she was doing, but everything the caller told her, she needed reassurance. So if they said there was, I'm headed eastbound on Interstate 4, she would say, you're headed eastbound on Interstate 4? They say, yeah. She said, so you're headed eastbound on Interstate 4? They're like, yes. It's like, okay, what does the vehicle look like? It's a red car. You said it's a red car? Yes, a red car. Okay, so it was a red car? She'd irritate the callers to death. And sometimes they would hang up on her because they were so irritated. So after she'd done this several times, within, an hour or so, I walked over to her. And this is somebody that did not know anything about her personal life. And I said, I can tell you, I said, I don't know anything about your personal life, right? And she said, yes. I said, I can tell you right now that you are a woman who does not know your own voice. You have no confidence in your own voice. You have no confidence in your own decision-making skills. You are one that needs constant reassurance. You have to have somebody to reassure you that you're doing something right, that you're headed in the right direction, that before you make a move. And she was like, how do you know that? She was like, I'm trying to get better, but you just read me my whole life. I said, I can tell. I can tell. Sitting with you for this just an hour and a half, I could tell you're a woman that needs reassurance in everything you do. I say, sweetheart, you are a woman. I said, do you know what that means? I said, that means that you are resilient. You are smart. You have the power of your own mind. You can make your own decisions. You can be confident in what you hear, confident in what you say, confident in how you believe, confident. I say, girl, do you know what it means to be a woman? I say, you got this. You don't need any reassurance. You don't need the caller to reassure you 3, 4, 5 times. You don't need anybody to validate you. You ask the question, you hear the answer. It's okay to say, okay, they said a red Mustang. Okay, a red Mustang, da-da-da-da. Keep it moving. And she was, and then she later told me how much she appreciated just that bit of advice for her own life. She said it was life changing for her own life. So I just shared that with you all, even though it was work related, but to say that you have, in order to have security and not to cure your relationship with insecurity, you got to believe in the power of your own voice. You got to believe in the power of your own thinking. You have to not need validation from anybody. There's nothing wrong with hearing opinions. There's nothing wrong with asking, asking somebody's opinion about something. There's nothing wrong with considering other people's opinions or, all those things. But you have to know the power of your own voice, your own decision making. Some people cannot order a meal without somebody else validating what they should eat. Some people can't decide. Somebody right now want to decide if they should go back to college, but they're waiting on somebody else to validate that they should go back to college. Somebody thinking that they're too old to pursue their dream, and they're waiting on somebody to validate for them that it's not too late. Now speaking of my book, I am not waiting on the validation. I'm just procrastination and lazy when it comes to putting it to paper. It's like I got the gift here. I just don't want to take the time to put it on the paper. But I'm going to do it, Aaron. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. I'm reading. Yeah, I hate it. See, yes, I hated that right in the middle of the church. Some mother, baby, your slip is showing. I know, Crystal. Those old mothers will tell you, baby, your slip showing. Keep it classy, not trashy. I know that's right, Ebony. If I didn't want to kiss my husband a certain way, he always accused me of thinking he was disgusting. Well, I don't know. That might be a lot to unpack, Shalette. We'll see. I'm going to go back to that. And Krista says, they do not want everyone to see. Oops. Oh, hold on, y'all. Okay. They do not want everyone seeing their goodies. I love when in a relationship and my man puts his arm around my back like, this is mine. And I'm like, yes, I am his. I know that's right. Maybe you should hire a writer. You speak direct. I like that. I like that, Aaron. Because, yes. You know what? And I probably could get one on Fiverr. I could pay $5. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to look for that because I can speak. I just don't feel like putting it to paper. Even though I love writing too, but I just don't feel like putting it to paper. But anyways, Aaron, we'll get back to that. Shalette, okay, I'm pausing for a second to address the comment. Shalette, you said when you don't kiss your husband in a certain way. Thank you, Krista. Krista said, yes, we want the book. Okay, it's going to be coming. Shalette says, when you don't kiss your husband in a certain way, he accuses you of not wanting to. Aaron said he'll remind me of the book in another 5 years. Okay, it will be, maybe I'll be on my second bestseller by then. So, Shalette. So, I'm getting nosy. I'm just getting in your business right here. Y'all, we will resume what we were talking about. But, now, it's funny. Now, I told my husband when we were friends, just friends. Y'all, we were friends for like 20 years before we got married. I don't know. I told this man all my business because I didn't know he was going to be my husband. And now he be using stuff against me because I didn't know he was going to be my husband when he was just my friend and I was telling him stuff. So I told him that I shouldn't be sharing with y'all my business, but anyway, I told him I was out there in the world. I was very promiscuous, but kissing, I could count on probably one hand the number of men I kissed because kissing was just much more intimate to me. So I said, so if I don't kiss you, I ain't in love with you. And so now my husband holds it against me. If I don't kiss him or, I just give him one little pat here or there, and it's been a good little while, because, we old people. We've been married, like I say, 17 years, been knowing each other 5 years. So if it's been a few weeks and we ain't really had a kiss, he think I ain't in love with him no more. So Shalette, maybe your husband might be on to something. Maybe he's thinking you ain't in love with him if you ain't doing what you used to do. Just saying, just saying, just saying. Um, but sometimes you just need a reminder. My husband has to remind me that, hey, you ain't doing what you used to do. And I'm like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, even though we're aging, we get older. But hey, we're still boyfriend and girlfriend. So, anyways, you guys, so back to just insecurities and fears. Again, the way it manifests itself for women is we we need validation, for everything. We get snappy and edgy and fussy because really underneath all of that stuff that's going on, we're in fear. We're in fear of either um, if somebody him cheating on us. We're in fear of um, him not no longer finding us sexy or in love with us, or we're in fear of not having enough finances, or we're in fear of um, not measuring up. Just there's all kinds of insecurities and fears, and that's how it comes out, and it can be relationship killers. And we can, just as we have insecurities, you can build your confidence. You can build confidence. Confidence doesn't have to just be innate. You can build confidence, and sometimes confidence ebbs and flows. I have, like I said, I just have a natural confidence, but there was a time that I lost it after I had my daughter. After I had my daughter, and me and her dad was just not getting along, and he was cheating on me, and I had gotten heavier because I was, fine back in the day. Then I had got heavier. I mean, I'm still fine, but I'm a different kind of fine. I'm a bigger fine. But I was, slim thick. I was slim thick. And but then I lost my confidence. Lost my weight because here it is, heavier than I'd ever been in my life at that time, y'all. I wish I was that size now, but heavier than I'd ever been in my life. With a new baby that I had not planned. In my life, I've been a college student now. Hey, I'm a mom. Just lost my way with my confidence. And I had to rebuild. I had what was normal, what was natural at first. I lost, and then I had to rebuild that confidence. So you could build your confidence, and that's something we're going to talk about in another live, because a few people have inboxed me and said it was so ironic. I got 2 messages this week, and someone asked me, "Can you talk about confidence and building your confidence in one of your upcoming lives?" So we'll do that. So let's. Oh, I like. Okay, I'm reading. Well, he didn't respond to me when I was being all over him. So why did he think you think he's disgusting? And that did bring insecurities for me when he didn't respond to me. I love that. I love that, Shalette. First of all, thank you for sharing and being open and transparent, because that's exactly one of the things I'm talking about. And sometimes it's hard for me to think of, different examples, but that's a very good example, because sometimes when our mate does not respond to us in a way that we want them to respond, then it brings on insecurities. It's like, hey, if I'm trying to be sexy, or I'm trying to kiss you, like I'm trying to, whatever, and you don't respond in a positive manner, now my insecurities are coming out. My insecurities, or that little girl in me, is coming out, and I might go back to the 3rd grade when the little boy picked on me, and 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 made me feel bad, about myself. Um, so that even though that could have been something that happened so many years ago, but those insecurities come back, or when a previous boyfriend might have dissed you or whatever, and those insecurities come back on you like that, and so then we start acting out from those securities, and it just might be a conversation. It might just need to be just a conversation, wherein we thought, yes, it will trigger something. It will trigger something from the past. It will. I can remember. Um, I can remember my daughter's father. Yes, it says AJ says insecurities do raise their ugly heads at the strangest time. I can remember my daughter's father, me being me being after I had my daughter, and I can remember she was a hip baby. I don't think she was even walking yet. I just remember carrying her on my hip, and I remember going over to her dad's house. We didn't live together. I remember going over to her dad's house, and he had someone in the house, and he met me at the door, and I'm like you say, it brings back memories. It's like I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to, but he said something like, he was like, you look at yourself. You've gained weight. You're not taking care of yourself. What are you doing out here with my baby? So it was like, what are you doing out here? 9, 10 o'clock at night with my baby. Go home. And it's like to this day, hey, I'm not in love with her father. I care about him, I'm not in love with her father. I'm happily married. I'm 30 something years later, when she's 33, so that was about 33 years ago. But I can still remember that feeling of insecurity and low self-esteem and hurt. Um, that yes, and then and then the sad thing about it is we got back together. After he, had done that to me, we got back together. But then I started cheating on him because I was like, hey, two can play this game. But those, like you say, those hurts and those pains and those insecurities and those fears, they come back and they rear its ugly head sometimes in your present relationship 10 years later, 15 years later, 20 years later, 30 years later. And we just have to be careful not to allow those past hurts, those past pains. Don't let the person who hurt you back then hurt your present. So don't let your past hurt your present. Don't let someone who hurt you deeply in the past also still have a stronghold on your present, and you allowing those things to now rear up in your relationship. So just talk about it. Have a conversation. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And Aaron, let me tell y'all men something. Let me tell y'all men something. When it comes to cheating, y'all can't outdo us. Y'all don't want your woman to start cheating. I'm telling you, you don't take good care of her because y'all don't want your woman to start cheating. Yeah. Because she can run circles around y'all. But truth, yes, AJ, yes, yes. But it's funny. It's funny though. I know I'm talking. Yes, y'all scheme and are intergalactic. Yes, exactly, intergalactic level. Yes, yeah, and it's so funny. At that time, her dad, when I started cheating, he couldn't cheat no more because he was worried about what I was doing. I said, no, don't worry about it, London. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what I'm doing. You continue to do what you doing. Oh, thank God for Jesus. Y'all, I'm so glad that he saved me. I'm so glad that he saved me. I was a wretch undone. I'm still not perfect, but I would say I'm no longer the wretch undone. Anyways, okay, I've talked. Let me talk. I said y'all weren't gonna have me on here no whole hour. I spent so let's talk about the men, and we can come back to the ladies. We can come back, but let's just get to that other relationship killer. Men, the inadequacy that causes shame. Men, to me, that's one of the biggest relationship killers that men is when they feel inadequate. Now, this could rear its ugly head in many different ways. It could be financial inadequacies. It could be sexual inadequacies. No, we're going to talk a little bit about the men. But, Aaron, what we're going to talk about is how a woman could help in those situations. But y'all men, y'all, it could be physical inadequacy, it could be financial inadequacy, it could be sexual inadequacy, it could just be not feeling like you measure up as a man in certain ways. um, and they kill a relationship. And most of the times, to me, how men kill those relationships, um, either through cheating or being controlling. Usually, when a man is very controlling of a woman, it's because that man has his own insecurities. That's 99.9% of the time when a man is trying to control a woman, it's because of his own insecurities of not measuring up. And so he can control very little in his life, but I can control this woman. So, if, ladies, y'all start to see that controlling. If you meet somebody and you dating somebody and they are controlling, usually they don't wait until you get married. That controlling mechanism rears its ugly hair even while you're dating. It's time maybe put a little pause on it. Put a pause on it. Talk about it. Work some things out. Because when a man is controlling, it's because of his own insecurities. And it when he feels his own insecurities, like I said, it so a lot of times, and I don't know, if people believe this or not, a lot of times when men cheat, a lot of times women, we think is that we just think that they're thinking with their own head. We just think that they're just dogs. We just think, no, a lot of times it's insecurities that they're dealing with. And somebody done piped up their head to make them think that they're the best things since sliced bread, and they start falling into that relationship with someone else because somebody else is gassing them up, somebody else is giving them compliments, somebody else. Now, true enough, women, you gotta they say it's a poor frog that don't praise his own pond. You got to pay attention to your man, pay attention to your relationship, praise your own pond. But when a man is feeling insecure, then any type of attention from someone else, from another woman, will catch him, just like that, because he's feeling insecure about himself. When he don't feel like he measure up financially, he could kill a relationship because he feels like he doesn't measure up financially. So he kills the relationship. He feel like he doesn't measure up, I don't know, sexually. Sometimes he's trying to spread himself thin with other women because he's not feeling sexually adequate. So the men, those insecurities, self-esteem issues, not feeling adequate, relationship killers. And it's like, as men and women, but we're talking about the men right now, is you got to search yourself and search your own soul and search, why do I feel inadequate? What is it in my development or in my past or in my relationships or in me that's got me feeling inadequate and insecure, as a man? Because those insecurities and those inadequacies cause shame. And again, the equivalent of the female, her slip is showing. Men, you're what? I don't know what they call it for men, but something it's showing. It's showing that you feel inadequate about yourself. So you're trying to cover all that inadequacy with bravado, with infidelity and cheating, with being controlling, doing what they want to do. Yeah. So you got to check yourself. You got to check yourself. I mean, you got to, it's good for y'all to go deep too. Why am I doing this? Why am I saying this? Why am I controlling? Why am I, talking to her this way? Why am I being this way? You got to go deep, and check yourself. But ladies, I know it's mostly ladies in here, but ladies, you got to be aware of these things. You got to be aware. That's a good one. That's a good one. The rim of your socks showing. That's a real good one, Crystal. I couldn't think of an equivalent. But that's a good one. But yeah, gentlemen, the rim of your socks showing. Because what you think you're hiding, you're not. You're not hiding when you're being controlling and you're being, you're talking bad about women, or you're not, you're not hiding what you think you're hiding. Your inadequacies and your insecurities are showing. But hey, we can all work on ourselves and we can fix those things, those areas of inadequacies and insecurities. Like I said, we can all build on our self-esteem. Yeah. Thank you, Aaron. Yes, we can all build on our self-esteem, and we can all just do better. And we can all and we because being in a relationship is just a beautiful thing. We the two whole people. When I say two whole people, because not just broken. We most of us probably have been broken, but just because we've been broken, we don't have to stay broken. We don't have to stay broken. It's a good thing to want to be made whole again, and to be whole for a partner, and two whole people coming together and having and living this thing called life beautifully together, because life is just a vapor, just a vapor. I don't care if we live to be 100 years old. Life is but a vapor. And so while we're here during this time, we want, to love with somebody, to grow with somebody, to cry with somebody, to build with somebody, to in partnership you uplift other people, you help other people. That's just a beautiful thing. Hey, there's nothing wrong with being single either now. Hey, especially if that's your choice. But if that's not your choice and you want to be in a relationship, there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting that and working towards that. We work towards, if you want to be a nurse, you work towards that. If you want to be a police officer, you work towards that. If you want to be an attorney, whatever, you work towards that. You want to be a preacher, whatever it is, you work towards that. There is nothing wrong with working towards being whole and wanting to be in a relationship, in a marriage, in a partnership. Let me see what I missed here. This is why I am working on me before ever getting into a relationship again. Yes, Krista. Yes, that's absolutely. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing, and I'm so glad that that we can admit that. We can say that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with saying, because there was a time back in the day that you don't admit that you needed work. You don't admit that you needed help. You don't admit that you're wanting to learn, change, and grow. It's like I am what I am, and take it or leave it. And that's kind of like the thought to me, years and years ago. But it's such a good thing, self-reflection and introspection, and to say I want to learn, I want to change, and I want to grow, and I want to improve upon my life, and I want to be in a relationship and with somebody else who's whole, and build on that. So that's a beautiful thing, to have. And I'm sure it's a devastating thing to lose when you think you got it, and then you don't have it anymore and you lose it. But even when that happened, hey, it's not good for man to be alone, a woman to be alone if they don't desire to be so. So hey, learn from that. Let's grow. Let's change. Let's move on. Let's look for another. So anyway, that's basically all I have. I mean, y'all know I could go on and on and on and on when it comes to love, relationship. Yes, this is exactly what I want, to grow with someone. Been hard finding that. Yeah. I wish you the best in finding that, Aaron, because I know you are an awesome man. So I wish you the best in finding that. But there are so many. This is the thing that I'm still learning, learning this, because I feel like there are so many awesome women. Now I'm sure there are some great men too, but I feel like now let's discuss this, because this is my feelings. Is that why do men have a hard time finding a good woman? Because there are so many good women. Women, Aaron, I can give you about 10 names There are so many good women. So, but it's not as easy. Believe there are some good men out there. I truly believe there are some good women out there. But there are so many there are some awesome men out there. But there's so many women. So I'm just like, why are the men finding all of these good women? Give you 10 names. Okay, Aaron, I'm gonna have to I'm about to gather some names for you. I'm about to gather some names for you. But oh, it's funny, Aaron. I was just thinking about you. We had my cousin in town. She's a minister, and she ministered to us this weekend at church. Oh, awesome woman of God, and she just came back from Detroit last week, where she ministered in Detroit, and she was talking about the East Side and this and this and that, and I was like, I've never been to Detroit, but I thought about you. Where they at? I don't know. I'm gonna find some, Aaron, and send some names your way. But yeah, I thought about you when she told me that she went to Detroit last weekend. But yeah, I have a hard time reckoning I know of some good men who are looking for good women, and I know some good women who are looking for good men. Why they ain't come across each other yet? Why haven't they come across each other yet? Yeah, she was just talking about the East Side. I wish I remember this name of this restaurant. She told me that they went to this restaurant and she said it was so good. I don't know what the name Joe or Joe's or something in the restaurant, in the name of the restaurant. I don't know. But she said it was a lot of people lined up. The women I run into are so damaged and spoiled. But you know, Aaron, I've heard, like I said, I don't know if you were on my live when I said that I have talked to quite a few men who have said that they are looking for a good woman and that they are having a hard time finding it. They said, like you said, they said some of the women are spoiled, or they are real shallow, or they don't have a whole lot going on when it comes to, say, like conversational wise or knowledge of things. It's like this real, they're about what's going on social media, or like, I like social media, but you gotta know something more than just social media. But I've run into guys who say, like I said, one guy said he was, he took a woman on a date. He said he could not wait to get this woman back home. He said she was just like dumb as a box of rocks. And he said he couldn't get her back home fast enough before he took off. So I have heard, like I say, quite a few men talk about, but I'm trying to do my best. I'm trying to do my best to get these good men with these good women, because I just want people to, people are just, there's some beautiful people. You all are beautiful. You're good, you're kind, you're thoughtful, you're loving, you're generous. And I want you all to find each other and build together. See, good men and women are everywhere. They just come along when we're not looking and when we are not ready for them. I also run into the very, very possessive. Yep, very, very possessive. You're right, AJ. And Aaron, yes, very possessive. And you know why? Because just like I said, it's part of that relationship killer. It's because insecurity produces fear. That possessiveness that these women, it's because of the fear that they have. It's because of their insecurities that's producing fear, that if they don't hold on to you hard enough, strong enough, that you're going to get away and slip out of their hands, and they're never going to get, anybody else. And they just don't understand. It's just like hard to get people to get it, to understand that the more possessive you are, you're not endearing that person to you. You are repelling that person from you. So don't be possessive. Ladies, let that man go. Let him come. Let him move about the cabin. Let me see. One time I got some roses on my porch. I thought it was from the lady I had taken out, but it wasn't. She told me to put the flowers down the garbage disposal. I broke it off with her. So, Aaron, you're saying that someone had brought you some roses and put it on your porch. You thought it was the lady that you were dating, but it was not from the lady that you were dating. But the lady that you were dating, I guess maybe was being possessive or upset and said, well, put the roses down the garbage disposal. That's what you're saying? So she's telling you to do away with the roses. Yeah, see, yeah, possessive. And sometimes you looking out of their outer instead of the inner. Yes, Shalette, he said sometimes you're looking out at the outer instead of the inner. Yeah, exactly. And that's where I was talking about our last live when I said give the wrong guy a try. I talked about, we're looking on the outside instead of the inside. We all want somebody. Oh, the roses were from your mom. Now, what if you listen to her and put them down the garbage disposal? Yeah. Okay. Two different conversations I got going on here. I'm used to doing that from dispatch, from 911. Talking to the 911 caller, talking to the deputy. Talking to the 911 caller, talking to the deputy. Talking to the fire department, talking to somebody. And then in my family, talking to one sister, talking to the other, talking to my mom, talking to the aunt. So I'm used to 4 and 5 conversations going on at one time. But, okay, back to you, Aaron. Yes, women, that the woman that says, put them down the garbage disposal. It's like, why? Why? And what threat was that to her? Rather than just, oh, I wonder who bought you those. That is so sweet. Oh, those are beautiful. Hey. So, yeah. But, Shalette, so, I was talking about giving the wrong guy a try. Yes. We can't just be looking at the outer. We all want somebody that's attractive, and that we're attracted to, most definitely. But you can't be so focused on that. And like I said, I'll talk about things I know. If I was focused on what I wanted, I would not be married. I would not be married to the awesome man that I'm married because, honey, he was not my look. Mainly, he's handsome, but he's short with a belly. I like him slim and trim and tall. But yeah, and I'm sure if he was on live, he'd probably say, I wanted somebody who was small with a butt. So he could say the same thing. That by the time, now when he met me, I was the look that he wanted. But by the time we got married 17 years later, I was double the size from when he first saw me. But that's why the inside matters. That's why the inside, because, honey, by the time I was double the size, I had that heart because of the inside. See, if I had him just because of what I looked like on the outside, he'd have been gone because I was literally, I was about double the size by the time we got married, 20 years later. But it was because of the character, the personality, the magnetism, that, that it wasn't about the size anymore, or the look. So anyways, what else, you guys? What else before I go? Because I love just talking to y'all. AJ said, D, you two look great together. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's funny, my sisters and my family say that they don't want to pay any, it's just so us that they don't want to pay any attention anymore, that the height difference. But I still see it. Even Sunday when we were in church and we were beside each other and we just, clapping and praising the Lord. And I looked and I said, I look unusually taller than him today. And I remembered, because my heels are taller. So I'm like, I got on some almost 3 inches in the day. So I still, see it every now and then. Okay, you guys, let me see. You and your hubby work well together. Thank you. Amen. The inner beauty is everything and more. Can turn a plain person into the most beautiful. Yes, exactly. I love a healthy woman. Don't nobody want a bone but a dog. Even the dog bears the bone. Oh my God. Wait, oh, hold. I keep touching to the wrong thing. Do you believe in the one? Great question. Great question. Um, Answer that. But anyway, but Aaron, that was hilarious. I love that. But do I believe in the one? Um, no. I'm trying to see how I want to say that. I believe that there could be the one, but that I truly believe that you somebody who's not the one couldn't become the one. I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can articulate what I'm trying to say. I don't think that in order to have a beautiful, wonderful marriage relationship, you gotta wait on the one, because there are millions and millions and millions of people in this world, and for you to come across the one who might be over in Asia, China, Africa, Alaska, but you might not ever come across per se the one, that only one person out of millions and millions and millions and millions. I think had I not married Charles and I had married someone else, I wouldn't maybe have everything that I have in Charles, but I would have had a beautiful, healthy relationship. You know, wouldn't have been the same, and I don't know if it could have been any better, but I would have had a beautiful, because of who I am and who I would have chosen, and who I would have, the characteristics that I desired and that I wouldn't have married if you didn't have certain characteristics, and if you wasn't a man of God, and if you weren't generous, and if you didn't have humor. So it's like, so those same things that I wanted in a husband with Charles, I would have wanted in a husband with someone else. And so that person would have been the one. And Charles wouldn't have been the one. So, Deidre, no, I don't believe in the one. That, because to me that says, there, out of all the millions and millions and millions of people in the world, there's only that one. Yeah, this is, if we fixate on the one, then we miss out on great things everyone else has. I missed out on great people all the time because I was looking for the one. Excellent, excellent, AJ. Perfect. I love when you all chime in. That's a smart community, smart people. Yes, AJ, so true. And I think that that is what's happening. D, that's a great way to put it. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Um, I love what AJ said, because I truly believe that that's what's happening with a lot of people who are not finding the love that they want. They're waiting on the one. They got their list, they got their ideas, and they're waiting on the one. And if this person didn't approach you right, don't look the part, don't have the possessions that you want them to have, doesn't have the degrees that you want them to have, doesn't have the look, the height, the weight, the car, the this, so they ain't the one. They can't be the one. I know God didn't send me him because he doesn't look like the one that I have in my mind. And so we miss out. Like AJ said, we miss out on some beautiful things and beautiful possibilities because this person doesn't look like the one that I have prayed for, the one that I have high expectations for, the one that I have on my list. This person, now there are certain rule breakers that deal breakers. There are certain deal breakers, that you may set for yourself as a standard. And that is not only okay, that's recommended. You should have a standard. And a man is going to come along and meet those standards or exceed those standards. But your standard should be about character. About my standard is that he had to be a man of God. And I'm not just by words, but I mean walking and living as a man of God. Perfection, no. No. But you had to be a man of God. Another standard, you had to love my daughter like she was your daughter. Another standard was you had to love your family. I could not be with a man. I love my family. We best of friends. We do some of everything together. I couldn't imagine having that kind of family, but I'm from a man who has no fellowship with his family, don't like his family, to talk to his mama in a kind of way, have no fellowship with his siblings. That was my standard. Now that doesn't have to be your standard, but that was my standard. So there are certain standards, that you do want to have, but not all those frivolous expectations of height, weight, um, pay, vehicle, possessions. Is one of my standards. The Bible settles all disagreements. Yes, exactly, Aaron. Yes, because if you have a relationship with the Lord and I have a relationship with the Lord, we want to do what thus says the Lord. And we're not going to talk to each other in any kind of way. We're not going to cheat on each other. Well, it happens. Say Christians cheat. But, but we're not going, not just willfully, you're not just going to willfully go out and just cheat on your husband or your wife. You're not going to just be totally irresponsible with the money. There are certain standards that you're going to have when you both have a relationship, with the Lord. And that was just one of my standards. But all these other, superficial standards that we have, and want that, and we're waiting on the one. We're waiting on that one to come in who is a certain height, weight, make a certain amount of money, certain race, certain this, certain that, and all of those things are just cutting down your possibilities to almost nil. Let's see. Right, the integrity must be there, and the Lord makes it possible. Yes, exactly. Very good question. My husband. Now, he noticed my lifetime. Maybe he forgot to call me back. But anyways, anybody else? That was a very good question. Very good topic. I love that. Anybody else got a topic before we go? Anything that anybody want to throw at Aaron, our man in the house? All right. Anybody got a question for Aaron? Like I said, I love hearing the brothers take, and we know Aaron go tell it like it is. Okay, like they say in church, I'm not going. My aunts and my grandma way back in the day, they didn't have the right articulation, so they said we're not gonna belong to time. Oh, you said about my husband needs me. Yeah, I think we must have a conversation with ourselves of standards of what we will or will not accept. Exactly. And just to be honest, sometimes some people's expectations are just way up there and just crazy. But for the most part, we need to raise our standard. Sometimes we need to raise our standard. We need to raise our standard when we're dating. Because sometimes when we're dating, we just lower our standards so we won't be lonely. Loneliness ain't easy. Loneliness is not easy. I've been there. It's not easy at all. But don't lower your standard because you're lonely. Don't lower your standard. I encourage you. Hey, if you're lonely, just just get busy doing some things. We don't really even always know what our standards are. Yeah, that's true. And that's true. And if we need to have some sessions, we can have some sessions and we can talk about standards. Some people, don't, and I just love that. Some people just don't know. Some people just don't know what standards should I have. What are standards? What standards should I set for myself? What standards are too high? What standards are too low? Okay, we can do that. We can do that. I'll figure out how how I want to do this. If we can do a live, or I'm thinking about. I don't know what people have access to, like Zoom, because I would rather do it like a Zoom type thing, or maybe just a small class of a few people. I don't know. I gotta figure out how to. Yeah, no, I'm not good at technical stuff like that. So I figure out how we want to do that, or I can just do a live and we can talk about it. But yeah, I understand that sometimes you don't know. You just don't know. It's like, okay, what's high standards? What are standards? I've got Zoom. We can do a panel. Okay, we can do a panel. Example, I can't be with a smoker when others may be okay. No smoking is my standard. Exactly. Oh, Zoom is great. Okay, okay. I think I'm gonna do Zoom. I'll look into that and I'll do Zoom and I'll make sure you all have plenty of notice and so that so that we can figure out how to do this and how to get the link to the Zoom and all of that. And I'll probably like limit it to maybe 10 people, if that many, just because I want to just keep it personal and engaging and interacting. So we'll do it something like that. One of my standards is that she has knowledge of Black history and a love for being Black. I love that. I love that, Aaron. Um, okay, this is good. Zoom. Okay, all right, good. I'm sure that's the direction we'll go. And I will put it out there, let you all know. And like I say, probably first come, first serve, because I think I want to limit to, I don't know, maybe we'll see, maybe 10. I don't know, maybe 20, because usually on my live there's about 15 to 20. So I don't know. We'll figure all of that out, but we're not going to have it too large because I want to be just intimate and but we'll talk about that and a whole lot of other things, because there's a lot of stuff that I talk about that I try to generalize, but I know that some people need more information and more 10 is good. Okay, I appreciate the feedback. We all can write our standards to see how they match up. Oh, I like that. I like that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I will like be on the lookout. Put your notification bell on so that when I will send out it. I'll either do a live or a video, and I will let you all know that we're gonna do a Zoom. I'll let you all know we're gonna do a Zoom. I'll give you plenty of notice because it'll be like 5 days notice, 7 days notice, something like that. And so you can, and then I'll give you an email address where you email me, and so I can send the link. But I gotta learn all this stuff. But I'm thinking that's how you do it. I set up our Zoom, believe it or not. I'm the one set up our meetings at work. But we use GoTo. We use GoTo meetings at work. But I'm the one that set up our meetings at work over the last 2.5 years of COVID. But I've never done it for myself. So we'll do that, and we'll talk about the standards and a whole lot of other stuff. We'll have a few different ones we'll talk about. Okay. Oh, hi. Yes, we sure. Well, I'll send out the invite. I can't guarantee. Sometimes it's hard. To get them in, but I do. I do have two loyal men. I'm surprised Tommy's not here tonight. But Tommy and Aaron, and then also Sean. I'm sure if I give Sean enough notice, Sean Heineman, he will be here too. Okay. All right, you guys. I think that's about it. I appreciate you all being here. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love the interaction. I love the engagement. I hope that something I say resonates with you guys and is valuable, because your time is valuable. So I don't want you to come over here to spend your time and not getting any value. A little entertainment is good, but I hope you're getting some value. And I appreciate you guys so much. So just keep your notification bell on. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. I love y'all too. Good night. Good night, Aaron. I love y'all too, and I really appreciate it. So just a reminder, follow me over on Instagram at SoBless1. If you do follow me over on Instagram, please inbox me and let me know. Sometimes I see a lot of people will come follow me after my lives. They'll come follow me and I don't know. I'm like, I wonder if they're a blessed one. I wonder if that's the one who was in, the live the other night. I wonder. So sometimes I don't know. So give me a shout out and say, hey, D, this is God's child, over here. This is, Lady NJ, hey, etc. Let me know. Okay? But and then we can dialogue. You know, more intimate back and forth because I always answer my inbox within a day or two over at Instagram at so blessed one. Okay, you guys, love y'all. Thank y'all for coming. See y'all next week, if not before. Y'all be blessed.